On today's show,
we discuss some troubling All-Star Game reports, Isaiah Thomas's rumored Cavs debut, and whether the Rockets need to rest James Harden.
Before Kobe's jersey retirement on NBA TV tonight, we count down the Mamba's top 10 plays.
And we've got some classic doinkers in a brand new edition of Weekend Whoopsies.
It's Monday, December 18th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters, presented by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Whether you're joining us live right now on NBA TV, catching us later on YouTube, listening to the podcast, doesn't matter, we're happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tess Millis.
Happy Kobe Week.
To his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lily, and last, certainly not least, over yonder, that's the bearded one. That's Trey Kirby.
Hey,
yo! TK, what's up?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at #TheStarters, and guys, Tass mentioned it. It's Kobe Week.
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking. Wasn't Kobe Week last week? And yeah, it was. But tonight in LA, Kobe Bryant is having both his numbers retired, 8 and 24, which means it's still Kobe Week. And since it's on the West Coast, it'll probably be Kobe Week again tomorrow. But as you can see here, we have generated quite a bit of content during Kobe Week, but there's still some uncovered gems from his 20-year career. So it brings us to today's question. What's your favorite random Kobe Bryant moment? Personally, I'm going back to 2013 when Kobe tore his Achilles. He'd been playing a ton of minutes for the Lakers, trying to get him into the playoffs. Got hurt a little earlier in this game, tried to go by Harrison Barnes, tore his Achilles, tried to pull the tendon up, very gross, but then was able to walk off the court, which is amazing. But then he came back and made not one, but 2 free throws with a torn Achilles, and then because he's Kobe Bryant, he walked off again. This was incredible to see, especially because Kobe's body had just been breaking down at that point. It was awesome. Anyways, we want to hear from you, so let us know on Twitter what's your favorite random Kobe Bryant moment. Send us your best tweets to #TheStarters. We'll hear from you later.
All right, get those tweets in, yes. More Kobe Week fun. We're going to talk to David Aldridge in LA, live from LA, ahead of Kobe's jersey retirement. We'll also count down the top 10 plays from Kobe's career. There was a blast putting together. We got a new batch of Weekend Whoopsies, but let's start with Is This News? Trey has rounded up some fresh NBA headlines. He's going to pitch them to us, and we'll determine whether or not they're actually newsworthy. Trey.
You're not going to believe this. None of these are Kobe headlines. Pretty crazy. First headline comes from Dime Magazine. It says, the league is leaning towards not making the new NBA All-Star draft results public. Is this news?
This is news.
This is the worst news
It's
ever
bad
if
news.
this is true.
Yeah, it's not confirmed,
Yeah.
but I think this is news because the players must really not want it. Because why wouldn't the NBA want it? Unless they're extremely sympathetic towards the players' feelings. This is a ratings hit. Why would you not want this?
This was the whole point of it.
You'd think so. I mean, the hockey, NHL has done this.
Yeah.
And, no disrespect to hockey and our beautiful sport from our home and native land.
Sure.
But they don't have the personalities to pull this off.
No.
And that's why it hasn't really been a home run for them. The NBA does. And that's why it'd be shocking, real shocking, if the NBA didn't do this.
This would be crazy because these egos don't need to be protected. You're an NBA All-Star. If you're out there,
Yes.
this is playground rules. If you get picked last, no one really cares. Once the game starts, people are going to forget about it, and then they're going to be worrying about what's happening in the game. And now, if there is a problem, here's a proposal I suggest. When there's 2 players left, just say, okay, one on one team, one on the other. So then no one has that feeling of like, oh, I got picked last. But it's crazy to me to think that we have to keep it a secret to protect anyone from being
I thought the
hurt.
whole point of this idea, which everyone loved, was to at least try to make the game more competitive. Because the idea was, oh, LeBron's not picking Kyrie, or Durant maybe doesn't pick Westbrook. Maybe it actually bleeds into the All-Star game itself, and for whatever reason, some people didn't buy it, but maybe it gets a little more competitive. Well, then if you get rid of it, if it's not public and we just get the teams on a piece of paper, what fun is there in that?
No,
that's
not
fun
fun.
at all. So
LeBron-
either do this either on the Thursday night TNT broadcast, do it even on Saturday night if you want, or do it right there on Sunday, line them up like you said, and go, whoever the captains are, they pick that guy, they pick that guy. It'd be so much fun. Everyone wants this. They got to at least try it.
I guess another middle ground could be the captains picking without the guys actually being there, like all 24
Fair.
being there. But yeah, just pick guys. Hey, yank them over here. You got to do it. You got to do
Hope
it.
it's just a rumor.
This is going to win an award. The television will be
Come
so
on,
great.
come
Richard
on.
Deitch will be writing about
Not
it.
happy about this. All right, what's the next
Hey,
headline?
let's just put it on the starters. That'd be fun. Next
That's cool.
headline is
Sure.
from Sports Illustrated, and it reads, report, Cavs eyeing January return for Isaiah Thomas. Is this news?
This is not really news. This is basically what they've been saying since the start of the season, that he's due back around January sometime. That exact date hasn't been revealed yet, but it looks like he's coming back. We've seen him on the court going through some warm-up routines. But good news for the Cavs, this is going to be like basically adding a new player. because he's never played with them before since he came over from the trade. And the good thing about it as well is they're pretty weak at the point guard position. Jose Calderon's been playing okay lately. Derrick Rose, we're not really sure about his reliability. Isaiah's going to take some time to come back into that team, but I think if you're a Cavs fan, you've got to be pretty excited.
Isaiah Thomas, though, says this is fake news. Did you see him tweeting
Yeah,
today? He jumped
yeah.
on Twitter. He saw the reports. He said, look, I guess all you have to say, or said this one, he targets the first week of April to make his debut. League sources tell IT, so obviously having some fun with this January return. And then he follows it up with, I guess all you have to say is league sources tell in your article or whatever is legit. I hope this is wrong because I think a lot of people were excited and I was throwing it out there. I think I even locked it in on a podcast. IT is going to come back for the Christmas Day game, if not before, get a couple reps in, and hopefully we see the Cavs versus the Warriors. If this is true, we wouldn't see that, but maybe then when you look at the schedule, maybe then you circle that Boston game, because Isaiah's had a lot to say, sort of how upset he was in getting traded from Boston, so maybe that's the vengeance return there in January 3rd. But I hope we see him Christmas, but whether or not, the Cavs are rolling here.
Yeah.
LeBron could use a little more time on the bench and
sure.
reduce his minutes and let IT run the show, but otherwise he'll be back soon enough.
I can't wait. I'm very excited to see IT.
Trey, final headline.
All right, our final headline is from the Houston Chronicle. James Harden expects to keep playing despite knee pain. Is this news?
Yeah, this is news. I mean, he's a very tough dude. Very, very tough. You remember last year, he played through a wrist injury in March. He played March and April, and the motivation then may have been that he wanted to win that MVP. He was not going to lose that MVP, and he wanted to play every single game.
Couldn't that be coming into play here, maybe, with this banged up knee, and he says he wants to give it a go still here?
Because he wants to win MVP? It's quite possible,
Yeah.
and I would say my advice would be sit out, because you're bound to lose. The Rockets are bound to lose. They're streaking. Sit down, lose a couple games, and then you look like
it
the
helps
MVP.
your MVP
Oh,
resume.
sure, yeah.
Sure.
Why not? You got to sit down. How did last year end? He was exhausted in the
Yeah,
postseason.
yeah.
Take a week off. You just got to do it.
They're saying a knee concern isn't that much of a concern, but any knee injury, you've got to be very careful with that. And that's the thing. It's December now. The Rockets are rolling, but no one's going to care about December. Everyone's really interested about May and June with this team if they can get that far. So
Yeah, this is where the injury happened
Yeah.
on Friday night, and then he was sort of questionable to play on Saturday.
He said he was pretty close to not playing.
Yeah, and then he went out and put up 31, 6, and 5. He didn't look and he said he didn't look as explosive maybe as he had. So there's some pain there, of course. But I'm with you. With Chris Paul playing the way he is, especially in that game on Saturday, take a week or two.
Sit.
Take a week or two.
Yeah.
You got to be obviously fresh as the season goes on and into the playoffs. All right, so newsworthy nonetheless. When we come back, though, Hall of Famer David Aldridge is going to join us live from LA to discuss Kobe's double jersey retirement. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Stars.
Welcome back to the show. Doubleheader on NBA TV tonight. Celtics Pacers kicks us off, but the real highlight will be during that second game, Kobe Bryant's jerseys retirement ceremony at halftime of Warriors Lakers. Hall of Famer David Aldridge joins us to discuss this evening's festivities. DA, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, guys. Always good to talk to you.
Now, before we get into tonight, wanted to remind viewers of something that happened the last time you were on our show. Actually, coincidentally, during Kobe's last game. Look at this.
I remember this.
Look at this professionalism. Mid-sentence, mid-word, DA maintaining eye contact with the camera, keeps that light up. DA, do you remember that moment? And is it one of the best moments of your career, perhaps?
Fellas, you got to learn how to multitask. You know how the deal is, you know.
Impressive.
Sometimes a light comes down in the middle of a shot. You got to keep going. You can't stop.
That's why he's a Hall of Famer.
During that interview, you told us that the Lakers gave Kareem Abdul-Jabbar a Rolls Royce sort of as a parting gift at his retirement ceremony. You said if they were going to up that for Kobe Bryant, they'd have to give him a yacht. Any word on what they're going to give Kobe Bryant?
You know, that's a good question, guys. I don't know. I have not heard what the swag bag is going to be for Kobe, but Lamborghini. I don't know. I mean, you have to go to the next level. Tesla. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be phenomenal, though.
I mean, the guy has his own helicopter. It's got to be topped. It's going to be
right.
tough. During your in your Monday morning tip that you wrote today, you mentioned that the 8 and 24, those two numbers haven't been retired in a ceremony for one guy that you can remember. One guy hasn't had two numbers retired in one ceremony. Which one would you retire if you had to retire just one number?
You know, it's a good question. People have been asking me that, the last few days, and I guess I would say 8. because I think physically, Kobe 8 was just unbelievable. When he was young and really had his legs underneath him and was kind of really feeling himself, 3 or 4 years into the league when he knew he was unstoppable. He was unbelievable as a basketball player. His ability to get to the rim, to finish through contact. He had the three-pointer. He had everything offensively, and he was more than willing defensively to engage and be disruptive. So on those teams with Shaq, the three-peat teams, those were some of the best teams I've ever seen. And a big part of the reason was that he just became, they had two unstoppable forces. They had Shaq inside and Kobe outside, and then Kobe, as he got older and knew the league and the game more, you couldn't do anything with him. Now older Kobe was smarter. He certainly knew how to draw fouls. He knew where he was going to get to on the floor and how to operate, and got to that mid post and was able to devastate people in there. But physically, he was not quite as dominant, And so I guess I'd say 8 Kobe for that reason rather than 24.
I know this is another tough question, but you also mentioned in your Monday morning tip that perhaps only Magic Johnson was as beloved a Laker as Kobe. How do you rank Kobe amongst the Laker greats?
Well, look, I certainly think if you're looking at, and see, this is where I think you've got to have some differentiation between guys that played their whole career with the Lakers and guys that came to the Lakers. I think you have to do that. I mean, because where does Wilt rank otherwise? You know what I mean? If you rank Wilt, who was here a few years and won a championship on a great team, that 72 team, but wasn't here his whole career, wasn't here when he was dominant. So if you're talking about Laker only, then I think Kobe certainly is on Mount Rushmore. Personally, my opinion. I mean, I think you have to have Magic on there. I think you have to have Jerry West on there. And I think you have to have Kobe on there. And the fourth one is kind of that wild card. I'm willing to listen. Elgin Baylor? Sure. I think you could have that. You could have him on that list. But if you're talking about guys that came to the Lakers, then you probably have to take Elgin off, and you've got to put Kareem on. I mean, you have to put Kareem on.
For sure.
You have to. He won 5 championships with the Lakers. So then he gets on the list. But I do think fairness dictates you have to differentiate between those two.
That is fair. Thank you so much, DA. Looking forward to tonight's festivities.
Oh, guys, thank you. Look forward to it myself.
All right.
And no light falling this time. A huge success there. We've had a blast, obviously, with Kobe Week, which has now spanned over to 2 weeks here. It's very confusing. But we had the Kobe Crossfire. We had the Mamba Meme team. We even played What You Got, looking at Kobe's career. There's one thing left to do, and that is to count down Kobe's top 10 plays of his career. We'll start at number 10. That makes sense. Kobe, you might remember, baptizing then-rookie Dwight Howard. That was Dwight's 6th game in the league. And Kobe welcomed him to it.
At number 9, final game of the regular season in 2004. Kobe ties into regulation with this ridiculous shot. Yeah, that goes. Then double overtime, wins it with that shot.
Rainbow!
What a night.
In Portland. Yeah, we're going to have a bunch of game winners here on this top 10 list. Here's another one, 2010, Kobe versus the Heat. The off-balance running bank shot off the wrong foot and gets it to go.
How he gets the ball back over there when he's running away from the hoop.
Lakers win, Lakers win.
Game 7 of the Western Conference Final. On their way to their first title, Kobe to Shaq. Oh, it's so beautiful.
We got a Kobe assist in here?
Yeah, this is an iconic Shaq
Yes.
Kobe moment, though, isn't it? Really.
Last minute of the game to seal it, and Shaq running back, also quite iconic.
At number 6, 2003 playoffs, Game 5 versus the Wolves. Ball gets swung around to Kobe in the corner, and he dunks sort of over and around 2 7-footers in KG and Rashid Nesterovic. And Kevin Harlan on the call. It was so good.
06 playoffs, Lamar Odom doing the dirty work.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant doing Nash dirty here with that dunk. Oh.
Goodness me.
The smash on Nash.
Another playoff jam here.
Wow. My goodness. At number 4. This is an interesting one, all right? Game 4 of the 2000 finals. Lakers were up 2-1 overall. Shaq had fouled out, and this was sort of young Kobe's coming out party here, right? Taking over this game, hitting huge shots in overtime. as a 21-year-old. The putback here sealed the deal. That would put them up 3-1, and that would be their first title as the Kobe Shaq era there. Huge coming out party. He was cool.
Just relax, guys. I
Oh,
got
the
this.
Froby, too. Love the
it,
Froby.
At number 3, some call this his best dunk. I tend to agree. Beauty, behind the back, near 360 jam. So graceful, so Kobe.
Yeah, that's nice.
Off a made free throw, just throwing down a dunk contest dunk.
Nice pass, Robert.
At number 2, who can forget this crazy sequence in the 2006 playoffs in the first round versus the Suns? Kobe would hit this tying bucket late in the fourth, so he would
This
give us
shot
overtime.
is like impossible.
Yeah, crazy, crazy shot. It would get even more nuts in overtime. There was a jump ball setting, time ticking down. Kobe, get to your spot, rises, splash. Game over. Then that was even weirder because they would go on to lose this series despite being up 3-1 against the Suns. But a huge shot nonetheless.
I love the celebration that
Yeah.
year as well.
Ah!
That series was nuts. At number 1, you know what it is. 81 points against the Toronto Raptors, 2006. Who are you going to put on him? Doesn't matter. He destroyed everyone in his way. It was a special night for Kobe Bryant. Just could not be stopped.
The start of this show.
Yeah.
Yes,
A
2006.
mere week later. Something
Right.
like that. All right, quick break, but coming up next, we got a brand new batch of Weekend Whoopsies. Don't go anywhere.
The Starters is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey, official partner of the NBA.
Back to the starters. Time for some Weekend Whoopsies.
Damian Lillard just trying to dribble out the clock, but he dribbles it off his foot, out of bounds.
Turnover.
You don't see that too often.
His reaction's perfect. Well, that was silly.
It's the new Blinky guy. Showtime, Willie Reed at the line. And if it's in Weekend Whoopsies, take a wild guess what happens. Yeah.
You don't want to go to the line in weekend with
No.
Nothing good happens.
Same game, a vacuum sucks up some popcorn. It's a human vacuum.
That's just smart. Doesn't get his hands dirty. No one else wants any.
No, they certainly don't after that.
We had a couple of errant passes. We'll start with Clippers rookie Sindarius Thornwell
was a
finding
beautiful
Sam
pass.
Cassell.
Yeah,
open
this
in
one's
the corner.
Sam Cassell's fault.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's on the court and open.
At least shoot it. You get the ball. And then another one here. Rashawn Holmes just rifles the ball into the Thunder bench. Coach Billy Donovan.
Oh,
It's hitting the dome there. He's fine.
The Rockets have been in sync this season.
Whoa. Whoa.
whoa.
It's a boomerang.
Oh, it's a boomerang.
Good.
They're okay.
Saturday, Michael Carter Williams. It's nice defense here. All right.
Oh, he's
Easy
going to dunk
layup.
it.
Dunk it. Oh, blows the layup.
Pre-game Thunder Knicks on NBA TV Saturday. Fred Katz on the right.
Oh, Freddie with the heady.
Oh, you gotta catch that, Greenberg.
Come on, Jared.
That game in MSG, Kyle O'Quinn had a weird look going. He had the bunched up shorts. Like, I guess tucked into the spandex. That he
Guess
was,
so.
in theory, wearing below. Yeah.
Cool new look for 2018.
Yeah.
In Houston on Saturday, Clutch the mascot. Well, he's going after George Foreman. That's George Foreman.
Uh-oh.
68-year-old George Foreman.
Down goes Clutch.
Thankfully, George didn't go down there.
Yeah. Yeah. He lost his footing. Sunday, after Reggie Bullock scored a career high 20, Andre Drummond just blasted him. Wow. Blasted him with the water bottle.
All right, he's got it.
Yeah, and then he wasn't done. He's like, is there another Reggie on
me
this
that
team?
bottle.
Oh, give me Reggie Jackson. I got Bullock. Goes after Reggie.
He just gives up.
Drummond in a good mood there on Sunday.
Here, LeBron travels twice on one possession. Yeah,
Buddy.
doesn't get called for that one. But, oh, yes, Bradley Beal wants it real bad. Got it.
We had some Supreme versus Supreme violence here. J.R. Smith and Kelly Oubre Jr. J.R. just throws him over, but Kelly right into push-ups. Nice form.
Great response.
Perfect form.
Yep.
Jeff Green had a very good game on Sunday. He made players on the other team drop their jaws with his performance. Jody Meeks
Can't believe it.
How'd he do it?
He's like, is Jeff Green good or not? I can never figure it out. And finally, keep your eye on Isaiah Thomas here because you're going to see him,
Okay.
and then he's gone.
What?
This is really strange. Where is he? Honestly, where is
Where'd he go?
And there
Ah,
he
there
is.
he is.
Hey, buddy.
We found him. And hopefully he'll be back on the court very, very soon. All right, after the jump. Lely hits us with a very solid play. Going all the way back to Friday night.
Oh, it's worth it, man. It was Kobe week last week.
While the entire organization deserves credit for the unmatched culture it's created and the unselfishness that defines its offensive prowess, there's clearly a front man to this band, and that man is Steph Curry.
Steph Curry's another guy that's changing the game before our eyes. He's doing it off the dribble with different kind of quickness, level of skill, and the way he can measure shots off the move is mind-boggling.
Catch the fifth and final part of the three-point revolution presented by JBL tonight on Game Time. All right, we asked you, because it is Kobe week, it's still Kobe week, we asked you for your favorite random Kobe moment. You hit us up on Twitter, hashtag the starters. Trey, you got a few of the best answers.
Yeah, some great Kobe Week moments. This one comes from Kenneth Smith, not Kenny Smith, by far the #1 requested. When Matt Barnes tries to get into flinch at a basketball and he completely ignores it. We had it in some reactions, but that's a classic moment. Jordan says that 2-minute stretch in the All-Star game when him and LeBron went one-on-one.
Oh, yeah.
Ruined by a picture of Drake. Great times. But Mustafa says Kobe's last game when he scored 60 points. We were watching that game instead of the Warriors winning 73 games. That was amazing.
That's very true. Let's get to tonight's pick 'em play. Ooh, it's the Celtics and the Pacers. That is the first game on NBA TV, and everybody's got the Celtics, so nothing will change in terms of our December records, really, gaining a game or not. As I said, Celtics-Pacers, first game of tonight's doubleheader on NBA TV. And the big one there, Warriors-Lakers, getting underway at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You got the Kobe Bryant jersey retirement ceremony. Lee, you gonna be able to stay up and watch it? Come
I
on,
think
buddy.
I'll be watching that in the morning.
Have a coffee. VSP.
Yeah, going to Toronto Friday night, and it's the Raptors with a very solid play that's got everything. Bounce pass, ball fizzes around, ends with a boomerang, and Norm Powell.
Switch ball.
Exactly, here it is again. Look at that. That's
Got
where
everything.
It has everything. All 5 touch it. It goes back to where it started, ends with a swish bomb. That's what I call a very solid play.
Very solid. Way to get it from Friday night so you can just take the weekend off, Lee. You're a smart man.
I had a marathon to run.
Tomorrow, join us live for the Starters Twitter show. It's live on Twitter. It's a lot of fun. 11 a.m. Eastern, we get underway. It's really just like the Drop podcast now, no breaks. We'll see you then, and then tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern here on NBA TV.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, the best way to avoid an altercation, just be like Kelly Oubre. Just drop into some push-ups.
Brace the night, people.